You one of these kits. I don't know if you can read the part number there from Warren, and it's different than you're going to have this, which is called the lock washer. It's keyed there, and then you got 2 lock nuts, and you got this one. One of them has right there, has a little pin that sticks out. I'm having a bad problem with these pins breaking is what happens. I took it to have the front end alignment and my bearings are loose. So you need to replace that. You're going to need a spanner wrench that is 3/8, 2 3/8, a spanner wrench. And you'll read your directions to install the bearing, torque to 35 foot-pounds or 50 all others, and then rotate the front disc brakes to seat the bearing, and then the inner nut has a pin, and then you back it off 90 degrees. Install the lock washer so that the key is positioned in the groove of the front spindle, which is what this thing right there is. And anyways, then you're going to put your second lock nut on there, and you're going to torque it to 150, it says 160 to 200 foot-pounds. One of the things to notice is always drive this every month with the hubs locked in for 1 mile. Never have the hubs in the free position and the transfer case in the low range, and never move the vehicle with only 1 hub engaged. This is all you need, this and a hammer and a bunch of screwdrivers. The outer edge of my tire is worn out, so we got us a new tire. Alright, when you take your locking hub off, just pop this locking hub off just like that. There's a little O-ring in there, make sure there's plenty of grease on that. There's a washer, C-clip, and a thrust bearing. To remove this C-clip, you need 2 screwdrivers. One that you're going to hammer on, another one just to try and hold it. I'm going to go just like this. There's no other easy way of doing this but this way. And once you get it far enough along that you can take another screwdriver. See, once you get it enough that you can get a screwdriver stuck in there, then we can switch these around and get us a bigger screwdriver. And pop that C-clamp out, just like that. And as you take all this stuff off, clean her up really good. And when that bearing comes loose, like what happened on the other side, this is all that kept the wheel on. Now from that point, get this washer. Then you get this cute little bearing right here. I'll just try and clean the old grease off, and we'll put new grease back on it. And then you have this spline right there. So from that point, then all we have left are 2 lock washers.
Previously, on the other side, a mechanic put the locking rings on backwards and did not have the lock washer locked into the locking pin on the lock ring properly, and the wheel loosened up, it came off, destroyed the hub, destroyed the bearings, and came off going down the road. This time I had to replace the ball joint so I can get a front end alignment, and when I take it to the alignment place, the tech can't align it because the bearings are so loose that the wheel is flopping. So a senior tech took it apart, tightened up the wheel bearings so I could get a front end alignment, and now I note that he put put the thrust washers on backwards. So that's two different mechanics have previously put my front wheel drive back wrong, and this can be pretty critical going down the road 55 mile an hour when your wheels come off.
That's not nearly tight enough. I'll tell you that right now. It's supposed to be 100 foot-pounds. And then this one is the locking nut. And you see what is busted? There's supposed to be a little pin right there, and there's not. So spanner wrench, and this is what we're going to have to replace. While we're at it, we'll probably go ahead and pull that bearing and repack it. It's getting hard to turn. Oh, come on. I'm fighting the rain. The wind is terrible. Okay. See, right there, a little pin. Supposed to be right there. It's busted. Put this on there. We'll go ahead and go grease this bearing since I have it off. Alright, once it seats up, we're supposed to torque to 35 foot-pounds. While turning the wheel. Okay, there's 30. Way too tight. Okay. 35. Okay. Now turn it back 90 degrees. That's too loose. Tell right now. Well, I'm following the directions, and they're obviously wrong. You mechanics I know use torque wrenches, but they do give you torque specs in the manual, and they sell torque wrenches for a reason. But if you've been doing it for 50 years, maybe you don't need a torque wrench, but I need torque wrenches. But you should seat the bearing to 35 foot-pounds to seat it and rotate the hub, then back it off 90 degrees. Then retighten to 16 inch-pounds. I found when you back off to 90 degrees, it is way too loose. But I don't have a way of torquing to 16 inch-pounds. My inch-pound torque wrench only goes to 25 inch-pounds. So I'm going to try and use my fat wrench you use to tighten your scopes down on your rifles, and we're going to put us adapters in here. I'm going to put a 1/4 inch to 3/8, and then 3/8 into a 3/8 to 1/2. Another way of doing it is the max torque to rotate the hub should be no more than 25 inch-pounds. This torque wrench does do 25 inch-pounds, so if I put this on a lug nut and turn it, it should not take more pressure than it should click. It should not click to turn it. If it's clicking, the bearings are too tight, and that will prematurely wear your bearings out, and it'll hurt your gas mileage. Alright guys, this is how I'm going to try and do it. "15 inch-pounds isn't much. Alright, that is no more than finger tight, to be honest with you. Alright guys, what we're going to do is we're going to put the wheel back on, and then we're going to check for end play. Because that sure isn't much. I mean, that's finger tight. Alright, if you can't get your locking washer to go on, you flip it over, because the little holes are actually offset. Now, still can't get it, which means we're going to have to either go tighter or looser. Because if you do not get this on there, there's nothing keeping that bearing from loosening up. Alright, I guess we're going to have to go a little bit tighter there. I mean, that is literally finger tight. Come on. That's about where it was to begin with. Went through all this for nothing, just worrying too much. Alright, there we seated. Alright. It was just hand tight to begin with. It was probably just fine. Alright, what we're going to do, I wish I had some washers. It would sure make life a lot easier right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to put this wheel back on and tighten down 2 lug nuts and check for the end play. We're supposed to have almost no play. Alright. Alright, I still got some play. See that? So anyways, you put one hand here and the other hand behind the wheel and you go back and forth. And it's not supposed to be more than 30 thousandths of an inch. And that sure feels like it's more to me. So, we're going to need to take everything back off and tighten it a little bit more. Probably the next interesting note, if you look at that hole there, it should line up with that hole there. Maybe. Yeah, that's neat. Look, this hole here lines up with that hole right there. If you have problems getting that hub back on there, just learn that. That's pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to take her back off. I have always stressed over wheel bearings. Other mechanics just tighten them down and go, and I don't know, I just always worry about it. That might be what's breaking that little pin off. Alright. A little bit tighter. I don't think I've spun this wheel enough to maybe get the grease out, because well, yeah, I did. I spun it before I... Alright. Try this again. match that hole up, goes right back on there. Alright, let's try this one more time. Alright, see? The play is gone now. That is where your bearings if you can see that or not, but you rock the top and bottom and there should be no more play. Look at that, no play. Alright, that is where it needs to go, and that is right. Alright guys, we're back. Alright. Started sprinkling on me, had to take a little break, but no, that goes there, that goes there. I know I keep saying that, but it'll help you. Alright, so that's where we want it. Make sure there is no gap. Make sure that it is seated in there good. And you need to torque this to 150 foot-pounds. I just don't know about that. Even the guy at the tire place said he never torques it that much. So I'm going to give it one good push with the breaker bar. Put your knee against it. That should be good. Alright. Good and flush. You should be good to go. Alright. Now one person has a video on YouTube where they're telling you how to put this back together, and they've got this splined washer on the inside, and that is not correct. The spline goes on the outside. The outboard edge, I believe, would be the proper term. Just like that. Sometimes you got to pull this out just a little bit. See, this is what allows you to turn corners and stuff. So, let me get a little bit of the grease off me. Get my old screwdriver. If you put your screwdriver flat, it'll help tremendously too. Get your big ball peen hammer. Push down to get the axle. Just like that. See, that should be able to float like that. And that's what gives you the ability to turn corners and go in and out in four-wheel drive. So a bunch of things covered in grease here. So like that. You know, if you read all the instructions on tightening lug nuts down, they'll always tell you to drive at 20 miles and re-torque them. Tell me how many people ever do that. But when you're dealing with a four-wheel drive and you're doing a lot of off-roading off the highway, you know, it would be a good idea. You know, I've seen them in tire shops just go around in a circle and not do a figure eight on lug nuts too.